I don't think I can do it anymore. I think it's probably best if I end the journey.
Unbreak my heart. That's going so bad. So bad. I believe I can soar. Sponsored by Ribena today. Alright, we've been fooling around. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. In the man cave, obviously, nephew Tommy was talking to Aaron and saying to him, listen, look, what choice are you going to make? And he quite clearly said he's going to dump Angel.
Storm is number one.
But then you also had a date with Angel and her friend.
Play golf. She has a lot of great qualities. She's real sweet. She's just not what draws me in.
And you're gonna tell her?
I didn't want to tell her right in front of her friends. You know what I mean?
If they just a friend, it's not fair to even keep them around. What's the purpose?
It comes down to the crunch. He's now speaking to Angel, and he decides at that point to do a U-turn on his decision making.
I've been indecisive. At the cigar bar, sat down with the fellas, and we decided on who we're gonna eliminate.
Here's the thing. I don't believe he U-turned because he genuinely was interested in Angel. I believe he U-turned because she's easier to play.
Here's the thing. I've been doing a lot of thinking since then. I want you to stay.
Are you serious?
Yeah. When I heard about how the girls had a meeting the other day and how it kind of got heated for you, but you stood in there. You stood in there and I heard you handled yourself.
I spoke to Angel on IG Live, and I really do like her. But I'm going according to what I can see. And what I can see is somebody who is accepting what she's getting on face value from Aaron. Because I'm sorry, Aaron's moving mad.
You also had a date with Angel and her friends.
She has a lot of great qualities. She's real sweet. She's just not what draws me in.
And you're gonna tell her?
We're gonna have to have a sit down and let her know, hey, look, some man out there is gonna love you. It's just not me.
Yeah. And as much as you want to be accommodating and you want to back him, and like she said, obviously she was saying, even like he told her, he said she was backing him in the girls' chat or whatever. Nobody's complaining that he has talking to multiple females. We're talking about the fact that he's slimy and grimy the way he's doing it. I got no beef with Aaron, but if you're gonna do it with your whole chest, cuz, you get me. But he's doing it in a slimy way, and it's like you're not being honest. You're not being a man about the situation, and that's the problem that I do have. And so when he's talking to Angel, saying obviously, look, we spoke in the man cave and everything like that, but actually I wanted to choose you. I was like, you ain't really choosing there, because really and truly all you're doing is not making a decision. That's the truth of the nature. You've got 3 different candidates who evidently you're attracted to all 3 of them, but you yourself are not convinced about any single one of them.
I don't know where I'm at with any of these women, honestly.
You know what I'm saying? Be honest and just quit this process, bro. Like, because you're playing the same game you played with Melinda, you're playing with Stormy, you're playing with Angel, you're playing with Courtney. You're playing the same game, and it's interesting. He's never definitive on anything. Even the last video I said when he was talking to Angel and then to Meanie and Derica and Evan. When they asked me a question, have you been consistent? Waffling started. Man started waffling.
Have I been consistent? In what sense?
He didn't see you last week for a whole week. No.
Okay.
So the answer
I'm just
is no.
asking, like, being whoever you are all the time, honest, upfront, direct.
Who I am as a person, yes.
Okay.
Where I stand in this journey, no.
What's been going on?
Like,
Yeah, bare syrup on the thing. Waffling, just waffling. Yeah, and he did the exact same thing when Courtney asked him a tough question.
There's only one that has my full attention. So, tell me where you at in terms of dating me. Be honest, just go.
You get me? But we'll get into that a bit later. So for me, the reason why I believe he chose Angel is because she's easier to manipulate. you have to understand manipulation doesn't necessarily, it's not always so toxic in the way that we can immediately see it. But manipulation sometimes is just real craftiness. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you position certain things so that you can shift someone's perception to fall in line with what you want it to be. And so, for me, the way I saw that him and Angel has accommodated him and given him space to be him. Don't get twisted. But in doing so, that's why he's chosen her. Because he knows she's bendable. She's bendable. And ladies, let me tell you something now. Guys who are like Aaron, who are indecisive, I don't think he's a player. And the reason why I said I don't think he's a player, he hasn't got it in him. He's not got the full-on balls, bruv. Like, I'm not saying that he couldn't cheat. I'm saying that he's not going to be a good player. In fact, he's the type of player that you despise because he's not even good at the game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no beef again with Aaron. I don't want you coming to my doorstep, cuz. But on an honest realist, he's not a player. He's just a really indecisive person who's undeveloped in their emotional intelligence and at the moment, and is struggling with the amount of power that he holds in his hands in terms of making a choice with different women. And like I always say, I believe that he's somebody who never had that much power with women in the younger, and he's coming to it when he's older, and now there's a struggle because you're not sure how to handle that power. And so the way he's handling situations with a girl can show that, oh, he's like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. My nigga, you're hurting their feelings when you mess around. Just be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? And he struggles to do that because really and truly, he's incapable of being decisive. And that's a problem in a man. And Courtney mentioned it. If a man who's undecisive is a dangerous man. The Bible says even like, how can a man who's double-minded, what can he receive? He can't receive anything from the Lord.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but he's unsure about a lot. And an unsure man is a dangerous man. When it comes down to it, you're gonna have to make a choice.
Why? Because he's unstable, cuz. Man, one day you're on a fit here, one day you're on here, one day you're on here, one day here. Look, somebody who's loyal to two people who are opposing forces will end up being a double-minded person. And you end up being the person who gets shot. Being in the middle ain't cute. You know what I'm saying? So you not making a decision ain't cute, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? As a man, make a choice. It's simple as that. I'm not talking about provision. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about make a choice. This is what you've been called to do as a leadership who's steering the captain's sail. Make a choice. That's what captains do. So you can see that Aaron's not an honest person, because if you told Uncle Tommy in the man cave that you're gonna switch and you're gonna cast Angel out, as you said yourself, Tommy, and then he turns around and says, "Actually, no, I actually want her." How can you trust anything he says from there?
Well, I think in the past I've made decisions from the wrong things, physical. What I'm looking for in a real connection, I just don't know if that's where I want to be.
At this point, I'm very confused. Aaron has made it very clear that me and Courtney were his top picks. Everything he said about Angel was he was no longer interested. So to see her back in the picture, I'm very confused.
You already seen one of his behavior traits in the room when you and Alex and Ashley were talking, and then you got to add this as well, fam. It's just not a good look. Do you get what I'm saying? And the fact that he said, obviously, you know, I normally chose girls on looks. I don't know who was shooting at. I don't know who was coming for. Was he talking about Courtney? Was he talking about Stormy? I'm not 100% sure. So I believe that he's not. I don't want to say he's even playing a game, because he's not even good at playing the game. It would be a compliment, and I don't think we could afford to give him that compliment. He's got a game like that. Do you know what I'm saying? No beef. It's just me just commenting on what I see, and then also added to that as well. Just talking about the crux of what we want to talk about, which is the Courtney situation. Women, I've said this. If you watch my other videos I've done, which are Ready to Love, I've said this in one of my videos where I talk about women and men. Women have the power. Why? Because we are choosing you. You have the power to say no. You have the power to say no. The Bible says you are no longer a slave to sin. You are now a slave to righteousness. You have the power to say no. That's your authority. You have the authority to say no.
I don't think I can do it anymore. I think it's probably best if I end the journey.
You get me? So when Aaron's coming with his nonsense shenanigan, Courtney showed us the way to go. And even the way she showed us the way to go, I even felt like she was even being too soft. Because she was saying, look, I don't think is not a definitive. I don't think it's almost leaving room for you to be able to maneuver still. But I rate her still. She said, listen, she started off first of all, say, look.
Where are you at with things? Like,
So You know, I've just been doing a lot of thinking.
And she asked him, and this is what I think a lot of women don't do. They don't ask the hard questions. Yeah, you've been talking for a little while for a guy, and you got to ask those questions. What are we doing? I'm feeling you, what you're saying, and you're not feeling me. You see, the moment you're honest, yeah, it's the moment that you're not going to get hurt. The moment that you decide to carry on in grey patches and grey areas, that's where you get hurt. Because you start assuming, and assuming makes an ass of you, as they say. But that's where pain actually comes from. Pain actually comes from the assumption that we're doing something. So for me, when I'm having conversations with people and I want information, I'm direct. Like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I like you. I love you. I want you. Whatever. What are you saying? Because if you tell me direct that you're not feeling me, I know what to do with that. If I continue in the grey area, it gives you the ability to keep on taking advantage of me, knowing that we can all read body language. We can all read how somebody's behaving. We can all read how someone feels towards another person in some shape or form. And so someone can take advantage of the fact that you have not said what you need to say. So when Courtney obviously asked that hard question, like, what are you saying? He started waffling again. No.
I've just been doing a lot of thinking. After I've analyzed who's here, getting to know who I'm dealing with, I can start moving forward there. So, you know, that time is now past and here we are. You know what I mean? So, let's cheers up, Court. Let's cheers up to love.
No concrete answer. Like, that's how you know the mark of a man who's not fully involved with you. And he did the exact same thing, like I said, with Angel, when they were asking him the hard question, like, why haven't you been consistent? Before you answer the question. That lets me know that you really ain't, fam, you're having to think about your answer. Because you know you ain't got the answer. It's not in your heart. It's in your head. There's a difference. If it's in your heart, it comes out naturally. If it's in your head, you have to think about it. You're programming it. You're forcing it. You're creating a narrative. And really, truly, that's not the truth. You get me? So when obviously Courtney asked the hard questions, my man had to yield, cuz. And you know, she gave him another chance and etc. And you know what he said? Let's do a little toast. And I feel like he has this way of trying to deflect answers. He did the exact same thing with Evans as well. You know, he said when Evans said, "I've got questions for you," he said, "I've also got answers for you." You know, when he asked him questions, he's like, "I've also got questions for you."
Gonna be put under the spotlight.
I'm ready for the questions, but I got questions for y'all too.
But you still ain't answer my question.
What's the question you got, bro?
How long has it been since you made time for my girl over here?
How long has it been, Angel?
What, about a week?
About a week.
You know, I've also got when he asked him questions, he's like, "I've also got questions for you." It's like you're trying to deflect. It's not necessarily that he's actually got answer questions. He just wants to deflect. He doesn't want the light on him. The Bible says when they shine the light on them, their darkness deeds comes to light. That's why people don't want to come into the light. This is why Aaron does not want, you know, the questioning. Because if the question comes, he can't answer it. He's a waffler. I told you, he hasn't got the game like that. You know what I'm saying? Certain men who got the game like that would have the gift of the gab and ready to do the thing, you get me, and have answers for you. Boom, boom, boom. But he hasn't even got that, cuz. So, you know, when he starts saying, let's toast to love, and she said, you really toasted that last time. And he said, I'm sure we'll toast to success and da-da-da. Like, the funny thing is, he does it in the next one. You know what I'm saying? He said, let's toast to love again. And it's like...
Let's cheers. This is corny, but whatever. It's to love. All right, to love.
To love. You like cheers into love. I think that was your cheers at the last...
Was it really?
At the last
I think
days.
it was more the success and happiness, but I'll take it.
Let's cheers up, Court. Let's cheers up.
To love.
He uses that as a way of deflecting, saying, to try and shift the person's mind off what they're talking about. It's so bait, though. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It just seems so bait when he's doing it. And so, you know, it's interesting that. It's interesting that. You know, she asked him a question, you know, I'm looking, have you seen any woman that's going to be a wife? And the guy says, I've seen, you know, I'm looking for people who are going to be my friend.
Do you think there's anyone here that could be a wife?
Wow. I've thought about who can be a good friend.
And I deeped it from then. None of them are going to be his wife. None of them he's considering any past, any girlfriend. He's not seen any future of any of them. Not Angel, not Stormy, not Courtney. None of them. He doesn't see any of them. That also let me know none of them. He doesn't see any of them as a wife. And that's why he answered the way he did. So when you move forward onto the second part where they meet again, you know, I noticed his mouth was full of praise. Full of praise. I believe his love language is words of affirmation.
That's a dress right there. You wearing that?
Yeah, thank you.
God damn. That's what you do? You gonna come in here with this?
What did you think?
Him compliment her on a sexual, I don't say sexual level, but on a physical appearance level, nothing wrong with that. It's just a fact. Remember, he's not genuine. And when I say he's not genuine, it doesn't mean that the compliment wasn't genuine. But what he's aiming at is not genuine. You see, because again, it's about deflecting a person from the true intention of where they want to come for. He knew Courtney was going to come for the neck, but he doesn't want it to come for the neck. So he has to try and guide her away from the neck. So he's like, what? He's like, wow, you're going to come like that? Damn. Like, trying to gas her up to the point that she'll forget. You know, a lot of guys do this where we gas you up to the point so that you forget what you actually came there for. Do you know what I'm saying? And so he was just gassing and saying, you know, like, you really did that? You really did that? Damn. Like, don't get twisted, she's a pretty girl. Don't get twisted, the body was moving mad. But the way he was so excited about it, let me know that I think the guy's trying to gas it a little bit, just trying to make sure that she forgets. And so, she took the bait, she took the nice little bait, carried on, but then she asked the question again. So, where you at, Aaron? What you saying? What's your decision making? He started off with the waffling again. He started off with a whole lot of story, and I didn't even know what he was even saying. And at the end, he'd say, look, I'm looking to make a decision. I don't even know what he said. Do you know what I mean? But you tell it was waffling, and to the point that Courtney had to make a decision there and then. And this is what I'm saying, women, when you hear something you don't like and it's red flag, just keep going forward and support what you said.
Man knows what he wants. I want it to be like, she's the one.
Respect.
And I don't feel like you're in a position to do that.
I mean,
don't go back in it. Courtney was smart, said what it is, said, look, I don't like this, and explain, listen, as for me, I'm looking for a husband, I'm looking for a guy who's going to love me, I'm looking for a guy who wants me, or I'm looking for a guy who's going to claim me. Simple. If you're not about them things, got to go. There's no question about it. I'm not going to waste time trying to have a debate and a discussion with you because it's a waste of time. Do you know what I'm saying? I know what I want. Do you know what I'm saying? And so when she positioned it to Aaron, he was lost for words. Why? Because when you ask somebody the truth, yeah, the truth of the nature is, truth has to come out. The truth of what you're asking has to come out. And the truth came out. He's not interested. I'm glad Courtney got out of there. And it just kind of shows us that obviously, stick to your guns, know your value, and know that you're worth more than just a cheap side chick, coleslaw basis. You know what I'm saying? In the man cave, when nephew Tommy obviously addressed him, and he said, Courtney, what happened to Courtney? He said, it was a mutual decision.
Went on a date with Courtney. How did that go?
Courtney decided to go home.
Oh.
It was a mutual decision.
It was a mutual decision.
It was a mutual decision.
My nigga, no, it weren't. It was really not. She said, listen, I got to bounce. You know what I'm saying? If it was a mutual decision, you would have made the decision earlier. You didn't. You got buoyed. And because he got buoyed, he didn't want to look. Again, I keep telling people, and I keep telling them, listen, guys, yeah, we don't want to lose face. And I keep saying he's in a young man mentality, thinking that the other guys are watching him and trying to egg him on. We're not. They're not egging him on. They don't care about you, bro, in that respect. Like, they want to try and find somebody who they want to gel with. But you're on a game thing. You're on a play thing. You're on a young man thing. And so when obviously you come into the room and now you say, it was a mutual thing. It was not a mutual thing. Quite clearly, Courtney said, nah. And again, it's all about readdressing the power. He does not want to feel stripped of the power. Because everything's about power play with Aaron. He wants to make sure he doesn't lose face, doesn't lose the power. And so he doesn't want to show face in front of the guy. Tell him, listen, yeah, it was mutual. I'm done. It weren't mutual. She said she got to go. Don't waste her time. Tell her she's got to go. What? Tell her don't waste my time. You know what I mean? He made a joke about riffraff. How long got left? 2 minutes. Goddamn. He made a joke about riffraffs.
This whole process, I'm telling you, Courtney, I'm tired. You know what I mean? It's finally starting to, narrow down. We got rid of the riffraff that was here.
And it didn't bang. And he dropped it twice. I don't know why. And this is clearly the disrespect I'm talking about. This is disrespectful. You see? Oh, we got rid of the riffraff. Riffraff. What are you trying to say? And I realized that he said this exact same way he was talking about Shantae and Melinda in that other clip. The same kind of disrespect has trailed on riffraff. What do you mean riffraff? Why are you disrespecting women on this level? I don't understand. And then I deeped it. This guy's got deep lining emotional issues.
Girls that I've dated in the past, that my emotional intelligence is not as strong as it should be. And I think the reason why it is because I've never put myself out there enough to really get hurt. I mean, it's not a good thing because I'm still in a very young, emotional place.
I don't know where I'm at with any of these.
there's something in his past he's not dealt with. He needs to sort it out. He needs to see a therapist. He needs to speak about his issues because there's something affecting you. That's what's presenting itself right now. So guys, Little Black Book, you already know what time it is. We're here to just give you the juice, baby. And I appreciate you. Stay blessed. Know what time it is. Deuces.